is Carmen and this is CERC Stays at Home. So during MCO, I'm a little bit more free, just a little bit more free. I thought that I would share you all something that I really love to do myself, and it is journaling. So what kind of journaling, you ask? It is that kind of journaling that requires you to use a pen and a notebook, and the kind that people don't do anymore, and I don't really know why. Perhaps it is outdated, or perhaps it has to do with word, it has to do with writing. I don't know, but I'm trying to convince you of the benefit of journaling for a Christian. So this is something that I will have benefited from journaling myself, and I want to share with you all. The first thing that I find that I have benefited from journaling is that it helps me to clarify my thoughts. And things like thoughts, like emotions or feelings, they're very intangible. And journaling actually helps to shape all these things into something that is a lot more tangible. When I see how my thought is being fleshed out on the paper, I'm finally able to understand what is going on up here. And that actually increases my self-awareness. And for a Christian, self-awareness is so important because we are asked to put off our old self and to put on our new self. But what if we don't even know what is our old self? Or we thought that we have already put on our new self? Well, the process of journaling actually helps you to understand yourself better so that you can see who you were or who you are right now. I can give you a very good example from me. I used to think that I know how to be a helper or like a wife, but then because I'm going to get married soon, I was like, maybe I should write down what it means to be a wife or what it means to be a helper. That was last year, and when I was trying to do that, I found myself to be in a position where I didn't know that I would be. I was stuck, and I'm a bit surprised because I thought I knew what it means to be a wife, but now I don't really know that clearly, and that helps me to realize what I don't know. And because of that, I took it a lot more seriously. I would read up books about marriage, about helper. I would ask someone about what it means to be a wife, especially those who are already a wife. I would talk to people about that. Or on a positive note, you can actually see your growth. You can see how much you have grown from before. Like, I didn't know much about how does Jesus' work on the cross affect me as a person? How does resurrection affect me as a person? How does it affect my life? But now I finally know it. And that itself is so beneficial because you can actually use those reflection or those clarified thoughts to help those Christians who don't know about it. And I definitely see that as a plus point because it actually helps another Christian to grow. So I definitely think that this helped a Christian growth. So another benefit that I benefited from journaling, it has to do with me expressing my emotions, my feelings, and my needs to God. I love the book of Psalms. I particularly love how the psalmist, they lament to God. The way to lament to God is so different from many of us. Lament means complaint, right? And many of us, when we complain to God, it's usually very self-centered. It's about our finance, I can't pay my bills, or like our relationship, our friend betray us, my boyfriend just broke up with me, or sometimes it has to do with our physical appearance, our people, our wrinkles, and stuff like that, or exam, yeah. But the psalmists, they are so different from us because they are so God-centered in the way they complain to God. Their focus is God Himself. Their focus is the hope that they have in God when they are suffering. So when they are complaining to God, they are looking forward for God to come back to reign, for Jesus to come back to reign. That's why they're always calling out to God. God, why can't you come back right now? Please come back right now. And from there, I learned a lot about the way I should complain. I learned a lot about the way I should express my emotions to God. And when I was journaling, I'm able to see that about myself. Sometimes I see that I'm a little bit more self-centered in the way I complain to God. It's about my needs, it's not about God's needs. So yeah, from there I learned how to be more godly in the way I handle my emotions. I learned I can reframe my framework about how to be a Christian who can handle my emotion properly. Lastly, there is this one reformer, I can't remember who it is, I'm sorry about that, but he said something like this. He said that a Christian's struggle daily is a struggle against yourself, to keep believing and keep being reminded of the gospel. I'm not sure about you, but I don't think that we are that different since all of us have fallen. I don't remember the gospel all the time. And yeah, do you remember the gospel when you wake up? Do you remember the gospel before you go to bed? Do you remember the gospel when you are happy? Do you remember the gospel when you are crying? Well, I don't remember the gospel all the time. But journaling give me a space, or give me a chance to be reminded of the gospel. And I always write a lot more when I'm sad. And every time when I write, I was reminded of the gospel. So why don't I show you some of the things that I write when I was very sad. This is my journal, and I can share with you all some of the reflection that I have when I was in suffering, when I was really sad. Yeah. So I wrote, John Piper was right. You can be so unusually sweet in suffering. You are my hope, but most assured hope. You made me realize that I am the worst sinners alive, and that you hate sinners. And you taught me in your word that you never cease to love your redeemed people, even when you are disappointed at us, because you are holy. I can never agree with this more. Christians are redeemed scums. My problem on earth will always be that I don't realize how much I need and have to be dependent on you. When I see how sinful I am, I see how great and amazing you are. So these are just some of the things that I wrote when I was sad, or when I was really struggling with my sin. And I really got reminded of the gospel, how sweet, how precious it is. And I really think that journaling gave me that chance to do this. I hope that I managed to convince you to start journaling. If you do, let me know. I will be so happy that you're studying. And if you do, I have a few practical tips. First one is this. Get yourself a small book. Don't get yourself such a big book like this, so that you don't get pressured to write a lot. This book is so small that you don't have to be writing a lot, and that also helps you to think better, so that you don't have to write out every single thing that you're thinking. You just have to write out what you actually want to write down. Yeah. The second thing is that I find that a lot of people, even me, feel pressured to write every single day. You don't have to do that. If you do that, you might end up playing catch up. You know, like, oh, I didn't write for 2 days. I feel so bad. And you started saying sorry to your book. I feel so guilty that I haven't been touching you for like 2 days. You don't have to do that. Journal is not a diary. It is a place where when you want to reflect, you can go straight to this book to reflect anytime you want. The last one is be intentional when you write, when you journal. What do I mean by intentional? It's try not to be so inward looking, but upward looking, Godward looking. Because when you write, at least from my experience, I can get a bit self-absorbed, to absorb into my emotions, into what I want to write. But remember that when you journal, the reason to journal is so that you can grow from where you are right now, so that you can be a better Christian, so that you can serve Christ better. So try to be Godward thinking, try to be thinking about God when you write. Try to be thinking about the goal that you want to achieve, which is to know yourself better so that you can change. I hope that all these little tips have been helpful and beneficial to you, and I hope that you would consider journaling. I can't wait for this MCO to be over so that I can meet all of you, especially those that I have not met but have met through this little screen. Yeah, stay home, stay safe, and I can't wait to meet all of you.